Seems like just yesterday that Jeff and I sat down and we talked about having a festival.
Jerry and I talked about it. He was the mayor at the time, and he wanted to do a festival so that we could showcase Mount Pleasant. We could bring businesses and let them earn money during the festival, and that some of the nonprofits can use it as a fundraiser.
At that time, there were Nationality Days in Mount Pleasant, and we wanted to take Nationality Days and sort of make it bigger.
The first festival we did was the Mount Pleasant Glass Festival. After that, Nationality Days was another festival that was going on, and they decided to incorporate with us, so it became the Mount Pleasant Glass and Nationality Festival. Then we realized we should change the name and have our own identity, and it became the Mount Pleasant Glass and Ethnic Festival. Mount Pleasant is made up of 9 different ethnic groups in the borough. There's German, Italian, there's Irish. And so putting the name in their ethnic also was to honor them. But the word glass was partly because of the glass companies that made Mount Pleasant and the heritage it brought to the town as far as the businesses that built it.
In the beginning, we did have Lennox Crystal and Smith Glass and Electric Glass. That's what we were trying to showcase our glass industry to the general public for what we had in Mount Pleasant and the workforce. Since then, they've diminished, they've closed, but we kept the theme of the Glass Festival because glass was a big part of Mount Pleasant.
This festival started out as a way to bring in sponsorships to make it work. And that was unique back 25 years ago. A lot of people didn't use sponsorships.
We went through a lot of things a lot of festivals probably never went through until we got things rolling smooth. I mean, I can remember times where we actually got together as the committee and swept the streets and did a lot of cleanup and everything else until things start smoothing out better.
The first couple of years, things were a little rough. People weren't used to having it right in town, like the old Fireman's Fair was there for years. So we had to bring that back to the people. We had to work with the people, and the neighborhood worked with us, and they made us what we are today.
The one thing about this festival is, Mount Pleasant's a nice town, and we pride ourselves on being a pleasant town, obviously, with our name in there. We wanted to put the festival in a neighborhood setting. That's pretty unique. So you see a lot of festivals at fairgrounds and different places, but as far as a neighborhood goes, that gives us that homey atmosphere with people who live along that neighborhood street can sit out on their porches, and then they actually, it seems like they're having visitors on their front porch.
We build the festival around all age groups, for the elderly, for the youth, for the young adults. Our entertainment around the clock practically, from morning to night, on the 3 stages, rotating around. We also take care of our local youth groups, dance teams, and it really brings a lot of youth to the feeling of the festival.
I always wanted to build through kids. I thought kids was a good foundation for the festival. One of the unique things that we did from the very beginning was we started something called Kids Fest. And Kids Fest was strictly for kids between the ages of 3 to 10, and it was incorporated within the festival. We did lots of things for kids. That just showed me that each generation, hopefully, after they grew up and had kids, that they would bring their kids back. And you know what? I've seen that happen. We've done lots of different things. We've done twin contests, we've done electric light parades for attractions. Probably one of the things I'm most proud about is Sparkle Spectacular, because it was a family project that my father and my brother and myself decided to come up with. The one thing we've been able to do over the years is create themed events, and that's one of the transitions that take this festival from a small event to where it's at now. We have a glass area, we have an ethnic arts and craft area, we have an ethnic food area, and we have an area called Old Town Mount Pleasant, which is really brings you back and lets you discover what it was like in Mount Pleasant in the 1800s when you can visit the cabins that we have along the festival streets.
Our Historic Society is very happy with us because we took their section of town, or their section of the block, and we made it Old Town Mount Pleasant. And it helps them, and it also gave a new taste to the festival.
One of the things that has developed throughout the years is we have a mascot now. I always thought it was important to have a brand identity. The mascot's called Sparky, and there's a story behind it. Years ago, there was a glassmaker in Mount Pleasant who had a little shop in his home, and he created a little glass medallion that the troops, when they left for World War I, could take with them so that they could remember their hometown of Mount Pleasant. The soldiers took the medallion with them to World War II, and they used it as inspiration, and it gave them some identity about Mount Pleasant for their hometown. As a remembrance of that piece of glass that took our troops to World War I, we created Sparky because that glass medallion was a sparkle. And that sparkle is a symbol of a lot of things. It's a symbol of new things. It's a symbol of happiness. And Sparky is sort of that kind of a mascot. The other thing that makes us unique is our festival goes into the night. And you know, when you start to get into that dusk, when the lights are turned on in the booths and you see some of the trailer flashing lights on, and you look up at the street and see the big crowd, well, that gives you a different kind of atmosphere that you have during the day versus the night. And that's really what makes this Glass Festival kind of special. When the sun goes down, it just seems like more people come out and enjoy the festival even more.
What I think's nice about it is it showcases the town. Borough Council throughout the year works on different projects all year long to improve things in the borough, such as the parks and in our neighborhoods and the gazebo area, Veterans Park, the new expansion down there several years ago. And I think what that does is bring people to town, and it showcases our town to them in case they want to relocate to this town. They can see what we're all about. Probably another great point of the Glass Festival that I've seen in my years of involvement is it brings old friends back to town. You know, even if they live out of state, they make arrangements for them dates to come back to this town to meet up with old friends and meet up with family. And it brings a sense of camaraderie and togetherness among people in this borough. And the way the world's going today, it's still nice that we can say that we still have a family environment in this borough. And I think the festival, I believe, is a big part of that, just because of, you know, the families look forward to coming back to it every year. And then also not even families, let's talk about classmates. You know, some classes even have their reunions during that weekend so they can have their reunion and then come down here on weekend nights to just hang out and talk about old times.
In the amount of 2 days, we built a city. We got about 125 vendors and we got 3 stages, and it takes us 2 days to build a city that brings in 45,000 people. And then after 2 more days, we have to tear this city down again and go back to being a normal Mount Pleasant. You know, a lot of people talk about why we have been successful, and it really has been because we had great volunteers. This committee is made up of volunteers. A lot of them have been here many years. Some have been here for the whole 25 years. No one can do a festival like this by themselves. It took volunteers, sometimes working 12 months a year, to make this festival what it is.
This day and age, for any group to succeed 25 years is quite an accomplishment. The committee works very hard all year long, trying to get sponsorships. And you know, with the economy nowadays, sponsorships are a little tougher, so we have to work a little harder to do things that in the beginning when the festival started, it was tough. They did a lot of things to raise money on their own.
After the festival became established, I always wanted to be more than just a festival. My idea was to have a legacy, have it become something more than just a 3-day event. The one thing that this committee always wanted to do was give back, as I said earlier. We've established a recreation fund that we donate money or even recreation equipment to our parks. We have a foundation account that we donate for different charities who ask us for money. We have a kids fund We also have a relief fund that if somebody needs something in town, whether they had a fire or whether they need some medicine for their kids, that this festival can give back. We established a scholarship to give to a student in Mount Pleasant who was in the arts or music or dance. We thought that had a relationship with the Glass and Ethnic Festival because that's what our entertainment is. It's music, dance, and art. You know, people ask us how long we wanted to be doing a festival, and I never thought we'd hit 25 years. But I always wanted to keep the ideas fresh. I always wanted to do something new. Challenges always was something that we strive to make this festival better every year. I can only say thanks to all the businesses, thanks to all the volunteers, and thanks to borough councils who supported us for 25 years.
It's a great event. I don't think there's any in the area like it, and I think that's due to the fact of Jerry and Jeff and the people that started it, their hard work, and then also the new members that persevered and learned to make it what it is today.
You know, I think everybody should come visit our festival one time or another in their lifetime. It's a unique experience. We hope that it creates a memory that you don't have any place else. It's an event that no matter what you like, if you like arts and crafts, if you like food, if you like entertainment, we try to provide everything for everybody.
When the festival started in 1986, it was presented by Mayor Lucia to Jeff Landy as an idea just to have a celebration in our community. That spark of an idea grew by always keeping true to the original committee's plan and focus. The first 5 years were very difficult. It was 4 days long, and a lot was done by trial and error. After almost every festival, the committee had to do a fundraiser just to pay the bills. A lot of skeptics bet against the festival continuing. In addition, the name changed several times as it went through these transformations. The second 5 years of the festival established itself and grew with a philosophy of sponsorships, better entertainment, and a large variety of ethnic food. Attendance grew, averaging 25,000 to 35,000 people per year. The next 10 years, the festival became well known and was even honored as a permanent addition to the Library of Congress Local Legacies. The 10th and 15th anniversary years of the festival scheduled special events and more well-known entertainment. The festival kept growing, and the next big anniversary was the 20th, averaging 45,000 guests. That year, the festival stamped its mark by bringing in national entertainment and performing a wedding ceremony at the gazebo during the festival. This momentum carried on through the years to the 25th anniversary celebration, which was the best festival ever. The estimated attendance for the length of the festival is over 735,000 guests. Throughout the years, the festival implemented many ideas, especially for children. Events such as Kid Fest, Stroller Parade, and the Glass and Ethnic Festival pageants. The festival has always prided itself on providing activities for all ages. Contests include Karaoke Countdown, Battle of the Singers, and Mount Pleasant's Got Talent, keeping up with popular culture. Traditionally, events such as the parade and fireworks display are staples of the festival. A trademark of the Glass and Ethnic Festival is the national entertainment that is free of charge to all festival guests. Foghat, Great White, Hotel California, The Vogues, and Pittsburgh's own The Clarks have performed. New ideas and imagination have been introduced to the festival by ways of Sparkle Spectacular, a synchronized music and magic dance light show featuring over 12,500 lights. Therefore, not only does the gazebo act as a stage for entertainment, it becomes entertainment. The nightly illumination launch has fast become a crowd favorite. Often imitated but never duplicated, the Glass and Ethnic Festival will never be completed. It will continue to get better as long as a committee of volunteers have a passion, idea, and imagination that have made the festival the success it is today.